I saw a spectator.
Here we are. We have got the game ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. The scoreboard is currently up to date.
All right, hopefully they
There it
got
is.
all those lag issues figured out. And now we are going to resume where we left off with game one. And luckily, nothing had really happened up until that point. Both players were, oh, they did showcase their builds though. That's one thing that kind of sucks. If, you know, if Sheth was able to watch that replay, I don't know if we're keeping an eye on that kind of stuff, or you know, if MMA was able to watch that replay real quick, they'll figure out what each other's builds were and they can change things from there.
Yeah, we do want to, of course, tell you guys that Sheth decided that his computer just wasn't fit for duty. He decided to swap it out. He got a second computer set up, and we're going to go ahead and restart this match. Now, they are on the same map, it looks like, Shakuras Plateau, and they have spawned in actually pretty much the same locations. They originally spawned to the north, now they're in the south, but essentially it's the same location because of the symmetry on the map is identical. MMA, of course, going to be the red Terran at the bottom right-hand corner. So once again, guys, I'm going to ask you guys to make some noise for Slayers MMA. And at the bottom left, make some noise for Liquid Sheth. And make some noise for the lag.
Once again, we have some lag issues here. Not really sure what it is. Oh, people are mass inviting Sheth to channels. He needs to go on do not disturb mode. He's probably getting trolled by people out there. I don't understand why people ever do that kind of stuff. When you're in the middle of a tournament and you're playing for serious money, it does actually lag you if enough people spam invite you to a channel. It forces lag on your computer, but now they have D&D mode, finally.
I know, right? Awesome. Privacy is important.
Maybe one day we'll get LAN mode. Maybe. That might happen.
One day, man. We can only hope.
I doubt it. I'm pretty sure they put their foot down on that. I don't think it would be too hard for them to implement LAN. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually have it, but they're just not willing to release it.
Well, we'll never know, man. Anyways, this is going to give me a good opportunity to do a shout out to IGN Prime, which of course is where you can get your access to some of our featured channels, where you guys can see the lovely Lonnie and the beautiful Megumi, who are doing backstage access, interviews, camera roll. I think there was something where Megumi or Lonnie went up to White Ro, who was eating lobster, and he was busy eating his lobster with his lobster bit on, and it was a really funny interview. Anyways, if you guys want to check out some of that content, go ahead and go to IGN Prime and get access to those channels.
Yeah, please do. There's also the League of Legends live view team. Sumi is on that, and then also we have player cams as well, so check those out. I think the player cams are awesome.
Oh, they're sexy.
I would love to be able to watch the players' POVs.
I couldn't agree with you more, man.
Well, Sheth, if you can hear us, we know you paused. It's okay. We can restart the game. He needs a countdown from somebody, though, so he can start the game. I don't know if he can hear me.
I can do... Oh, we're in spectators, so we can't actually do the countdown for Sheth, unfortunately.
Derp.
Well,
anyway, so Sheth actually being pretty mannered right now. He doesn't want to unpause the game, and MMA, obviously unable to speak fluent English, is not able to communicate that to him. So we have a little bit of an issue here.
Where is Susie? Someone go grab Susie.
Or somebody could run into MMA's booth real quick. Type a message to Sheth. There we go, there we go.
There he is. Players are ready. Okay, so now we're just waiting for someone to resume.
Sheth is so manner.
Yeah, he's going to do the countdown. So
I will do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause.
Parentheses.
There it is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so here we are. It's time for the first game in this series between Sheth and MMA. After various delays and technical difficulties, I think we are well under our way.
I think we're finally good to go here, and this is a much anticipated matchup, at least for me. I really want to see Sheth's ZVT match up against MMA. MMA, an outstanding Terran player from Team Slayers.
Yeah, he's so good, man, and hopefully he can redeem a little bit for Team Slayers here, because of course Boxer just got knocked out in the previous series that we casted. No doubt MMA is looking for a little bit of sweet vengeance here against Sheth.
Yeah, I'm sure he is, and once again, Team Slayers utilizing that semi-ninja barrack spot. It almost always gets scouted, though. I'm not really sure what the purpose there is. It is a little bit more forward. It gives you the option of getting the Marine over to the Zerg Natural a little bit quicker. And then again, I think there's the off chance that they could actually miss it and just not scout the barracks altogether.
That drone actually almost made its way up the ramp, but really good stutter step micro from MMA keeping up with that drone, so it could not get up the ramp. Meanwhile, the SCV looks like it is going to get inside the Zerg main, and we do have Sheth going for 15 hatch into pool and gas here, so economical opening from the Zerg. Is it 2 barracks play from MMA? No, it's barracks right into factory.
And this is the same build we saw his teammate Boxer use in his previous match. He was unable to really bring it all together and make it work, though.
Well, I really like how he switched it up, because in the first game we had MMA open up with 2 racks aggression, and of course that game had to be delayed and canceled, and we went into this one. Now MMA switching up his strategy, not allowing Sheth to really get a good beat on him, and just keeping the playstyle various.
Indeed.
Yep.
And we saw him change up the build a few times over the course of the series. Now, MMA is differing a little bit in that he's not building that single Hellion before he swaps the factory over and starts producing double Hellions off the reactor. And I actually prefer to start producing double Hellions off the reactor right away, because the time it takes to produce that first Hellion and then swap over, you're actually losing a lot of potential time you could have been building with that reactor.
Now it looks like Sheth did not see the factory, but anticipating already the Hellion play has gone right into a Roach Horn, and he's going to be very happy to scout that factory and the reactor. He's going to have the perfect unit to counter these fire Hellions, and let's see how many roaches he makes once that Roach Horn completes. Not even bothering to build a spine crawler. He is going to send a queen up to the front door here, but with 4 roaches on the way already, I don't see these Hellions doing much damage at all.
Well, they're going to be able to sneak in there before the roaches actually get out if MMA decides to commit. It looks like he just wants to work on getting that creep tumor down. And what
is he going to friendly fire it? He is
there.
Friendly firing his Hellion to kill off the tumor. Very well played by MMA.
Yeah, super intelligent smart right there. Also rotating around the creep tumor and attacking the queen from a different angle to get those last 2 shots off.
Yeah.
I really like those moves from him right there. And Sheth might be looking to do a bit of pressure here, or maybe just take control over the Xel'Naga back. He's sending out those first 5 roaches right now. They don't have speed. More just as a scouting option, I think. He can poke in the front, try and figure out exactly what MMA is up to. MMA wisely throwing down a bunker that will keep him safe to any kind of roach aggression here. He might be able to kill a few SCVs.
I kind of like him moving out with these roaches as well, because this is going to force, of course, the Terran player MMA into a little bit more of a defensive posture. Interestingly enough, not utilizing the Hellions for defense, realizing that, Hellions aren't that good against roaches. He's going to rely solely on his bunker here, but the roach is going for the reactor core. That SCV is in the red. It will die to 1 roach shot. He doesn't even bother. Yeah, it is. The SCV goes down, and the reactor goes down as well, and we all know how long it takes to construct a reactor. That is going to be a big setback for MMA's build order.
Well, he did lose 3 roaches, though, but to trade that early for a reactor, I think it's actually worth it. It's going to stifle his production, and MMA trying to switch over to very quick medevacs here, only working off of 2 Raxes. Generally, we'll see players go up to 3, sometimes even 4, and surprisingly enough, didn't drop his command center on the low ground, dropped it on the high ground just to be safe. And it actually really worked out for him building that command center on the high ground instead of the low ground. If that roach push had come in and he was trying to establish himself on the low ground, he might have been in a lot of trouble. But as it stands, he's okay. He has stim now, and he's going to start producing medevacs here, and he could do some serious harassment.
Yeah, he also has the option of doing a marine medevac stim drop as well. This map is pretty decent for medevac drops, as you can just start to elevator them from the low ground. And there it is. The medevac has loaded up 2 Marauders and 4 Marines here. And I like how MMA, contoured his playstyle to the roaches that he saw, went ahead and got some Marauders on the field. He doesn't really have conch shells, but at the end of the day, Marauders are still good, even without that upgrade.
Oh yeah, Marauders are great. They tank a ton of Zergling damage. Yeah. They can tank Banelings very well. And since Sheth had committed to roaches, dropping those Marauders isn't really a bad idea at all. And does Sheth know about this drop yet? It's made its way into the main. He's going to stim and send those units straight into the mineral line, and there is nothing from Sheth there right now. This is a very early drop. Sheth trying to scramble some lings over there, but he doesn't have enough. He just now started producing units, and his roaches are all over at the third, unable to assist, and he is going to take a lot of damage here.
I'm surprised MMA there kind of hesitated, it seemed like, as to what units he wanted to really deal with. I really feel like he could have popped the spawning pool if he wanted to, but, you know, it's very precarious when you're in there. You just don't know how many Zerg units are there. You don't know how much time you have to do damage, and so MMA took his time, but at the end of the day, he actually ended up killing a decent amount of drones and Zerglings. Not only that, he prevented mining at the main, which is now just resumed.
Yeah, that drop certainly paid for itself, and it was at a very odd timing. I think by cutting the 3rd and 4th Raxes and cutting those add-ons on the 3rd and 4th Raxes, he was able to get his starport and the medevac at a time where Sheth and most other Zerg players just wouldn't be expecting a drop. And he's actually got an additional drop queued up here around the top of the map, and he's queued up a drop at the main once again. So MMA just being very sneaky right now. All of these drops are going off in the dark, so Sheth does not know about them. His overlords are not in position to properly deal with this. And here we go. Two more drops coming in right now.
Looks like those Hellions may have give a bit of a warning system early on for Sheth to get some units over there, as the medevac now is unloading the units on the high ground. Meanwhile, this drop party is doing pretty good work. I mean, I like the position between the Roachhorn and the end of the wall. The dropship gets out of there with 30 HP intact, and it pulls out one Marauder. Meanwhile, at the top, looks like those M&M were held back as well. So, you know what? Sheth doing a good job despite not seeing those medevacs.
Yeah, Sheth is doing a great job spreading his units out right now, keeping them spaced out properly between his main and his natural. And really, he just needs to continue to absorb these drops and try and come out ahead in supply. We do have quite the push coming out of MMA right now, though. Yeah. 2 tanks and a gang of Marines, a gaggle of Marines, if you will, 2 medevacs as well. And the real important thing here is whether MMA is just going to go straight for the front and try and whittle down the creep tumors. Look at how many Zerglings Sheth has, though.
This is really risky for MMA, engaging right up on the creep, and it looks like Sheth is going to get a complete surround with his Lings. All of those Marines and tanks are most likely going to go down. At the very least, that blast tank is going to go out. No, MMA pulling out here now. He did have +1 weapons, which is a pretty big upgrade, and the medevacs in the back, 3 of them, in fact, keeping the Marines alive.
Yeah, I actually thought that Sheth was going to come out way ahead there. He had good positioning. He engaged at the right time, right as the tanks were sieging. But MMA went into that fight with additional supply. He's still ahead on supply considerably, 133 to 91 right now. So Sheth just falling behind in the macro game here. MMA taking a pretty aggressive third there, just dropping it on the low ground as well.
He actually was making it for a while, and the SCV was like, oh no, there's a Zergling, and ran away. So the command center is halfway constructed, not even halfway, 5% of the on the way out, but it is going to start to get completion, and MMA now preparing for another push in the middle of the map, man.
MMA pushing once again. Still no Banelings out of Sheth, and we continue to see Zerg players use this no Baneling style, and I don't really know if it's the way to go, because Banelings would be so good right now. Here we go, another engagement from Sheth. He tries to get the surround there.
Great micro on the tank. Look at that tank. It's in the red. He drops it out, but it ends up going down, but really good micro, just keeping the tank alive. And it looks like MMA is going to hold out once again with this Marines and tanks. Unbelievable.
And this brings me back to the point that I was making earlier. If you guys watch the way these fights are going down, MMA virtually has to do nothing in the form of micro. There it is. GG. Game 1 goes to MMA.
Yeah, we were talking about this multiple times today. A lot of Zergs now using that Stefano style of quick +1/+1, mass Lings, hold out until you can get into the Infestor Ling heavy stage and then eventually get into Ultras. But if the Terran players here from Slayers are going to start to use that power reactor style with a bunch of Marines, really got to get Banelings out.
Well, yeah, even at the very least, you don't have to commit to Banelings too heavily, but at the very least, just having a few Banelings to force the Terran to back off and spread all of his Marines out and go through that form of micro, it makes the battle much more difficult for the Terran. Whereas in the situation we just saw right there, MMA can just stim his entire army and he's free to micro tanks. He doesn't really have to move his army at all.
Actually just go back to his base and macro and let his army fight right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've actually seen you play from behind your shoulder before, and you do that quite a few times.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. And you're allowing the Terran player not to have to watch his army and go back to his base and macro. And, you know, we actually saw MMA out macro Sheth right there in a pretty serious fashion.
Yeah, Sheth definitely I thought for a second of a few times that he was going to be able to wrap around the tanks and marines and kill off everything, and I think we shared the same sentiment. It seems like that quick +1 upgrade and the 3 medevacs in the back were really the saving grace, though. And even though the Lings did get their full-on surround, 0-0 Lings, it's just not that good. And really, MMA pushing out before the Carapace and melee upgrade comes in was very important as well.
Yeah, I agree. Medevacs and Marines are so good against Zerglings in mass. You have to throw a couple Banelings in there, just on the off chance that he's not paying attention and 1 or 2 of those Banelings hit. I mean, even in the games we just cast of Boxer, the Banelings were so effective.
Yeah.
They did so much damage throughout that series. Lucky utilized them, utilized burrowed Banelings.
Burrowed Banelings,
yeah,
man.
hit a few jackpot landmines during that series.
Lucky he's going to go out and go gamble at the casino. By the way, guys, if you guys get a chance, go hit up the casino out on the floor, get your membership card, and go have some fun because, of course, Caesars Palace and Bally's are both hosting our event, and we just want to give them a good shout out and a good word.
Indeed. What is that pass called, actually? I don't even... Your Clear Rewards?
Clear Rewards card?
Gift card?
I was playing at the poker table, and the dealer was like, would you like to get your Clear Rewards card? I was like, all right, fine.
So we're getting both the players in the game here. Are you up or down yet?
I was up. I'm actually very down right now.
See, he didn't tell me about this. He only tells me when he's up. Last I checked, you were up like, I don't even know, 300 or 400, but
yeah,
it makes sense.
And then I ended up playing. A drunk guy came and sat on the table to the left of me, and actually Spades was there watching behind my back. Basically, the moral of the story is don't play against drunk people. They never fold, ever.
That makes sense. We got both players in the game here. It looks like everybody's ready to go. I will double check on that.
Are you down or up, man? You played some blackjack last night, right?
I lost everything I've attempted to gamble since I've been here. I played slots for the first time, lost $20 instantly. Blackjack, $80, gone. Gambling is not